How are you guys? I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a great Christmas and I hope you have a fantabulous New Year. So we're going to do, I'm sorry if it looks a little bit dark. It's just every time I freaking start recording for YouTube, the sky just turns dark. It's like, what is it with you? I need the light. I have a ring light, but you know, they're very expensive to run, these ring lights are, and they really make me very hot. So we're not using the ring light. I'll see how long. Really, it should stay light till about, I don't know, should stay light till about 4 o'clock. So I've got about a good hour and something to do some work for YouTube. Anyway, for Scorpio, we got your mid-month, 15th to the 31st of January. And you've also got sitting along your February reading as well. So if you want to check out your February details, you can do as well, Scorpio. And that will be love and general as well. This is just a mid-month bonus reading, okay? Let's have a look what's coming up for Scorpio. We're just going to have a look. What's the energies around Scorpio for mid-month, 15th to the 31st of January 2019, show me. All right, let me just split the deck into 3 and I'm going to collect that back up like so. For your reading, guys, we're using the Tarot Made Simple. Just thought I'd just use a nice kind of simple deck today for you guys. And we're probably going to get just the answer is simple advice at the end of the reading, okay? Let's start laying down your cards. Okay, so let's have a look. I definitely feel that for the last few weeks in January 2018, you guys are being called to take on this new path. All right. I feel that there is, it looks to me like this is a very spiritual reading. There's an advancement. It's almost like you're spirit-wise. I feel we've got an Eight of Wands being the root issue for you guys. Showing up. It's a really nice reading, actually, I think. Okay. Some of you guys... Oh, that's interesting what's coming in. That's very interesting, actually. Let's have a look. All right. So, I feel that some of you guys... You're showing us being the Three of Swords. Now, Three of Swords isn't always third fucking party. Sorry for swearing. I'm sick of people talking about Three of Swords being it's got to be 3 people. It's got to be a group. No, it's not. It really doesn't. Just because you're showing us being the Three of Swords, this is not necessarily a love reading. Sometimes if you're the Three of Swords, you're torn. And I do feel that some of you guys are torn. Because the Three of Swords is all about being torn. Three of Swords isn't necessarily a bad card. The tarot has good and bad in all of the cards. It really does. It has a good side and it has not such a good side. Every single one of these cards is good and not so good. It doesn't have to be that reversed it's not so good and upright it's good. Not at all. In the upright it can be good or bad. It's as simple as that. I do feel, Scorpio, that with this Three of Swords, though, some of you guys are going through a dark night of the soul. I think that you are kind of torn with that Three of Swords energy. And I feel that, you know, the Three of Swords energy is also about getting to the heart of the matter. So it's about opening oneself up, opening up one's heart, because you can see the swords in the heart and they're opening the heart up. So some of you guys, your heart is probably quite open. You might be feeling torn, but I feel that your hearts are quite open with that Three of Swords. Or you're opening your heart up with the Three of Swords energy, I would say, Scorpio. Possibly to new projects with the Eight of Coins. Showing here, the Eight of Coins is all about working, new projects, something in development. It might be learning something. So some of you guys might be opening up your heart to learning something here with the Eight of Coins. Now, the root issue is all about the Eight of Wands. And I feel that with the Eight of Wands, I feel that there has been a great shift. I feel there's been a real spiritual shift for some of you guys here with this Eight of Wands. I think there's been a real spiritual change for some of you Scorpios. And I feel that, you know, around this, you understand what it is that you do want and what it is that you don't want with that Four of Cups energy. So I do feel that some of you guys are understanding now, coming into, you know, and I think this probably could have started, you know, a while back, Scorpio. I really feel that this could have been something that kind of developed and started some time ago. But it's almost like you're evolving, because the Eight of Wands is all about evolving, okay? And understanding, I feel, with the Four of Cups energy, that, you know, there are certain things here that are not good for you, because the Four of Cups can also be about temptation too. So I do feel that you guys are very much opening your heart with this Three of Swords energy to learning with the Eight of Cups, or Eight of Pentacles, but also the eights in the tarot about mastering. So when you're doing an 8, you're mastering something. This guy is doing something over and over again because he's trying to master an art. So some of you guys are very open to mastering something here. Let's have a look at what you're open to mastering with the Eight of Pentacles energy. Showing here. Well, you've got 2 8s here, funny enough. The Eight of Swords. It's about the Eight of Swords. So I feel that this is all about you guys taking control of the Eight of Swords. You've got a mental blockage here. But what you want to do is you want to gain strength over this mental blockage. So I feel that you're, with the Three of Swords energy, you guys showing us the Three of Swords is because your heart is very open. And I think that you're open to mastering with that Eight of Pentacles energy showing here. Well, the Eight of Swords energy. And the Eight of Swords is all about a mental blockage going here. So I think that you guys are trying to overcome some mental blockages, because I do feel that there has been a spiritual advancement. I do feel that you guys have grown spiritually. This is the root issue. You seem to have grown spiritually. And I feel that through this spiritual phase that some of you guys have gone through, I actually feel that this Four of Cups, there's a realization here that there's something in your life that you don't want. And let's have a look at what it is in your life that you probably don't want, Scorpio, with that Four of Cups energy. Well, pressure, Ten of Wands. You guys are not interested in taking on any more pressure with the Ten of Wands energy, because I do feel that what's influencing you is the Judgment card. It shows here. Okay, and this is a calling. Now the calling could come through a dream. The calling of the Judgment for me often comes through God. It's God's words in your ear. Okay, it's an intuition, it's a feeling. Okay, it's a revelation, it's a realization. So I think that with the Judgment energy, what's influencing Scorpio in the last 2 weeks of January, there's a realization happening here, and that realization is leading on to the energy around you for the last 2 weeks, being Judgment, the Hermit. A new road has to be taken. There's a new route that you're going to have to take here. And the most likely outcome from that will be the Queen of Wands. You will start attracting new things into your life with this Queen of Wands energy. It could be a person as well, but the Queen of Wands also stands for attraction. Most likely outcome is that you're going to start attracting. What are you attracting here with this Queen of Wands energy showing up? There you go, Star. Okay. You guys are going to start attracting in your highest thoughts, your desires, your wishes. All of those things with the Star energy, okay? Because the Star is all about your hopes, your desires and your wishes, and the Queen of Wands is likely to attract those things coming in, okay? But it's all because there has been a development, spiritual advancement, spiritual change. You're going through a real transformation. Remember, Eight of Wands is not just about news messages, it's also about a spiritual awakening and a transformation. And the root issue is all about your spiritual transformation. You guys really don't want any more pressure. Four of Cups and that Ten of Wands. You're very open. Emotionally, your heart is open to the Eight of Coins energy, to mastering the mind. Now, some of you guys have had mental blockages, so this is all about gaining control with that Eight of Coins, because it's a master card, the master number of the Eight of Coins. Number 8 is about mastering the mental, Eight of Swords. And you know what? You've already mastered this Eight of Swords. Some of you guys are really blocked to the hilt. So it's going to take time. And this is also breaking down. If you think about the Eight of Coins and how it's chipping away like this, it's chipping. So when the guy on the Eight of Coins is working, he's chipping away. And what's he chipping away at? The mind, the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is the blockage. It's the things that you can't stop thinking about. It's the fears. It's the problems that kind of circulate at night. And this is you guys. You're emotionally very open, I feel, with the Eight of Swords energy, to chipping away at the emotional blocks, at the mental blocks you have, because there has been a spiritual advancement here in which you no longer want to have to carry pressure. Some of you guys, this could be about carrying guilt, even, that you're looking to get rid of. But I feel that there has been, you're influenced by an awakening with the Judgment card that says you have to pursue a new road now with the Hermit energy. And if you do that, the most likely outcome is you will start to attract in really good stuff, the Star. Really, really good stuff. Now coming in, you've got the Sun. So lots of good things are happening here. Let's have a look at what, this could be a Leo. But I feel that, or this could be you guys feeling far more confident. What's the Sun about? You said the Sun is the immediate future for Scorpio, last 2 weeks of January. What's this about? Well, it's about your dreams. Okay. So I feel that you guys, you know, the Seven of Cups is, it's not a bad card, but this is to do with things in the cloud. Okay. So, you know, it might be that you guys are feeling very, very positive with that Sun energy coming in here. It might be that you're feeling positive about the dreams that you have. Seven of Cups energy. But Seven of Cups is an illusion, because everything is on a cloud. Everything is out of reach. Okay? And it's not about you getting what's out of reach. He never gets out of what's out of reach with the Seven of Cups energy. Okay? So and the Sun is also quite blinding too. Okay? So some of you guys, it might be that you're quite blinded by the fantasy with the Seven of Cups energy. But, you know, I'm going to have a look at what that fantasy is, because I think this Sun card is telling that you're going to be quite blinded by this, all these fantasies that you've got going on here with the Seven of Cups energy showing here. Okay, change, death. So you guys are quite blinded, I feel, with the sun. And I also feel not just blinded, I feel that you're quite excited with this sun energy, okay? With the Seven of Cups energy, about all of these kind of fantasies that you have about how you're going to transform, how you're going to bring about this change, because you are death. So this is all about, I think, you guys actually not being blinded, but more being kind of really excited and happy about how you're going to, you know, about this fantasy with the Seven of Cups that you have about the changes that you're going to start implementing yourself. Because I feel that there's a role here that you're no longer happy with or pleased with, Scorpio. And you're saying to yourself in the last 2 weeks of January, right, this is what I'm going to do. This is how it's going to be. You know, it's going to be absolutely amazing. And you're really, because I think that there has been a split. But the only thing I would say is, don't let this be elation. Because I'm getting a feeling of elation here, Scorpio, more than anything. And I think it's because you have gone through, you've realised there's been an awakening here. And you're bang on acting on that awakening. But you know, you've got this influence coming in of worry with the Nine of Swords. So Nine of Swords is coming in, and we're going to see what that worry is about with the Nine of Swords. It might all be in your head, though, with the Nine of Swords energy. Let's have a look. What's this worry about with the Nine of Swords? The Page of Swords. So you guys might be worrying, maybe you don't know enough with the Page of Swords. Maybe you're going to have to go back to square one. Maybe you're going to have to go back to learning. Because the Page of Swords is all about learning and educating ourselves. So I feel that you guys are worrying about going back to square one. Having to kind of learn something all over again. All right. So this could be literally for some of you guys, you're involved in doing something now, but you don't really want to do it. And you want to do something else. And suddenly you're like, oh, wow, I feel really good because, you know, what I'm fantasizing about with the Seven of Cups energy is about me transforming or how this thing. I think that this is more about you fantasizing about how you're going to transform if you do this thing. You know, so a lot of this is fantasy, but you're like, shit, I'm worried though. Coming in is worry with the Nine of Swords. And that worry is saying, shit, I'm really worried because, you know, with the Page of Swords, this is going to take hard work. I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board. I might have to go back to learning, relearning something here in order to achieve this thing. Because you're going, I think, from one stage to the other. I think for some of you Scorpios, you really do realise that there's a place in your life that no longer serves you. And you have spiritually evolved. With the Eight of Wands energy being the root issue, I feel that you have spiritually evolved. And you realise, actually, I don't want to have to do anymore. So some of you guys, it might be that you're in a job, for example, where you have a lot of responsibility and you're kind of like, do you know, why am I doing all of this? What am I doing all of this for? It's not serving me. I'm fed up with it. You know, there's something out, and there's this calling that I've got here, and I need to really, like, pursue a new path. You know? And universe says, as soon as you realise that, the universe is going to start attracting towards you, Queen of Wands, some very positive conditions with the star energy, really positive. But you guys are really getting really confident and really excited about, you know, but it's all about what you're imagining. And you're imagining yourself transforming, but it's just like that. Because in your head, you can transform in 2 minutes. But in reality, well, you've got to learn your trade. And you've got to go back to square one. So some of you guys are worried, shit, what if I've got to go back to square one? What if I've got to go and relearn something with the Page of Swords? What if I don't know enough about this, you know, this path that I'm now going towards? That type of thing. And I feel that, you know, your hopes are, I feel that for some of you guys, your hopes are that you're doing the right thing. The High Priestess is all about using our intuition. So your hopes are that you're doing the right thing and that you are using your intuition and making the right decisions with the High Priestess. The overall outcome is the Hierophant. I feel that the overall outcome for the month is all about teaching and learning. So I think that with this Hierophant energy, there's something for you. The overall outcome for the month is with this Hierophant that you're going to have to take instruction here with this Hierophant energy. There is a lot to learn with the Hierophant energy. Okay, so, you know, you've got this Hierophant energy showing here. And I feel that the overall outcome with this Hierophant for the month, because you guys here in the immediate future, you're doing the Sun. You're quite confident and quite excited by, you know, the dreams that you have, that this is going to transform you because you're death. So this is going to bring a transformation, a major transformation into your life. But I feel the overall outcome from that is that you have to learn something. There's something here that you have to learn with the Hierophant energy. Okay. I feel also that you have to, this is also advice. So it might be that some of you guys are receiving advice in the outcome as a result of all of this. Because here you guys are worrying about the Page of Swords. Gaining knowledge, learning. There's a lot of learning for you guys to do in January 2019. This thing that you want to kind of transform into isn't going to come just like that for some of you Scorpios. It's something that you're going to have to learn about because you don't have enough knowledge of it. You just don't have enough knowledge. And the overall outcome is the Hierophant, a teacher. Okay, you might be communicating with a teacher, for example. Three of Wands is all about communication and networking. So the outcome might be that there is a teacher that you're networking with from afar. You might be talking to someone, gaining advice with someone from afar. Networking is the Three of Wands. And the Hierophant is all about teaching, for example. Okay, so there might be a teacher or somebody who's advising you. It could be that they're advising you from afar. They're advising you over the internet. I do feel that with this Three of Wands being the card that indicates somebody from afar, networking with a group of people. Okay, so it might be you're gaining advice and networking with a group of people or a person who's giving you that advice with the Hierophant energy and the Three of Wands. Because this is something that you're going to have to build on, okay, going forward. Okay, and you're looking to gain a specialist. So the Three of Wands is actually looking into, he's looking away from the Magician, which is interesting. Where's he looking towards? He's looking to the Hierophant. Okay, so I think because the Magician is behind the Three of Wands, this is you. Okay, this is you being the Magician here. And this is all about your skill set and your tools, all right? But I feel that you turn to someone. I think that you're turning to a Hierophant here. The overall outcome is you guys turning towards counsel, turning towards somebody who can educate you, maybe on how to use your tools, how to use the resources you've got. Because the Three of Wands is not facing into the Magician. He's facing into the Hierophant. So this is you probably contacting a Hierophant, a tutor from afar, somebody who's able to teach you and educate you on how you use your tools and the resources that you have. Because there's something that you want to do here, but you don't have enough knowledge for some of you guys in order to do this. We're going to quickly do this reading again mid-month. So mid-month, what I'm seeing, Scorpio, is you guys, I don't think that you're torn. I think that emotionally, your heart is very open with this Three of Swords energy, okay? And this is to the Eight of Coins, not only mastering maybe some doubts that you have with the Eight of Swords, but also chipping away. The Eight of Coins is to chip away. So you're very open emotionally with that Three of Swords to chipping away at some mental concerns and blockages that you hold, Scorpio. The root issue is all about spiritual advancement. I do feel that you guys have grown and you've matured spiritually with this Eight of Wands energy, and I feel that this has therefore allowed you guys now to say, I no longer want to have to carry so many burdens or do so many things, whether it's to earn the money or to live or whatever it is. Your spiritual awareness with that Eight of Wands is actually saying to you, I'm really not interested with this Four of Cups in having to carry all of these responsibilities that I have, because I have this awakening with the Judgment energy. I am being awoken, whether it's through your dreams, whether it's through the words of another individual, whether it's through your own intuition. I am being awoken that there is a path, a new path that I need to seek here. And also I feel that some of you guys are seeking, because the Hermit is looking into the Judgment energy. Some of you guys are probably seeking a higher calling. So some of you guys are probably also focusing on what your life purpose is. The most likely outcome is if you carry on this way, by the end of January 2019, you will find with the Queen of Wands energy that you will start to attract, I feel, with this Queen of Wands energy, some really quite spectacular conditions into your life. But it's all about see it, believe it, and experience it. So if you see it, you can be it, okay? It's all about the visualization. This is all about self-belief. A lot of this will be about what you think is what you start to manifest coming in, okay? So this is going to be a case of, in the last 2 weeks of January, you've really got to start, showing that you believe in what you say. You guys want change, so you've got to believe it, and you've got to start visualizing that it's going to happen, because it's going to start to show up. It's going to start manifesting these changes on. Now, some of you guys are going to be really excited with that Sun energy. Okay, you're excited about the dreams, about the imaginings with the Seven of Cups energy that you have in terms of, so you guys are excited because I think that you're dreaming of transforming, how this thing's going to transform your life, how this path that you're on is going to transform who you are, how it's going to transform your destiny, your path, how it's going to transform you, where you're going to be in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years because of this new shift, this new path that you're on. But I do feel that some of you guys are worried. And you're worried about the amount of information. How much do I know? Is this something that I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board? Is this something that I'm going to have to study for again, for example, with the Page of Swords energy? because the Nine of Swords is worried. Okay, but I'm asking, what are you worried about? The Page of Swords. And I feel that just in the line with the reading, Scorpio, this is all about you guys being really, really worried, because you're saying to yourself, shit, I'm going to have to go back to college for this, for example, with the Page of Swords energy. I'm going to have to learn this all over again. I'm worried because I don't know enough with the Page of Swords. I've got the passion, I've got the drive, but I don't know enough of how I'm going to make this work. I'm going to bring this into being. I feel that your hopes will be, with the High Priestess, to be making the right decision. That your intuition is guiding you in the right direction with the High Priestess. But the overall outcome is, I feel, from you guys getting really excited with that Sun energy. It's all about your imaginings with the Seven of Cups. It's all about you guys dreaming about going through a personal transformation or transforming personally. Not just you, but your lifestyle, your environment, everything, due to this new path you're taking. The overall outcome from that is going to be, it's not time yet. The Three of Wands, it's back to the Magician. It's not time for you to show what you have here. You really need to be focusing on contacting someone who can educate you on how you can start to use your tools and resources. Do you see what I mean? Because some of you guys, you want to go from A to Z within a month or within 2 months. But you need, I always say, for example, with the tarot, you know, you get a lot of these people that teach tarot and they'll tell you, you don't need to know anything about the cards. You don't need to read a book on them. You just need to look at the picture and just say, well, how does that picture make me feel? And you can do it sometimes, but I'm very, very much a stickler for knowing the general meanings of the cards. Because when you know the rules, you can break them. Do you see what I mean? And what you're looking at is the rules, because the Hierophant is all about rules and regulations. It's all about following rules and regulations. So you guys have to, with this Three of Wands, follow the rules and regulations before you can start to show your skills, before you can start to sell your wares, before you can start to show people what you can do, before you can show people your skills and your talents. You've got to follow the rules and regulations, whether that's learning from a school, whether that's learning from a person or a university. You're going to have to go through a training period in order to get you up to scratch. So some of you guys, it is where you're going to have to take on a course probably. And you're worried about it. You're like, shit, do I have the time to take on a course, for example? Do you see? I'm going to see why you're worried about the Page of Swords. Why is there worry about it? And I think the Page of Swords is all about learning. Going back to the drawing board. Why is Scorpio worried about this? It might involve travel with the Knight of Wands energy. For some of you guys, it might literally involve travel. It might mean that, you know, you're worried about having to relearn something because you're going to have to travel from where you are. You know, you might have to move to a university, for example, to do it. You know, you might have to travel abroad to go and do a particular course in this thing. But some of you guys are worrying because there's travel is going to be involved with the Knight of Wands energy showing there. Okay, you might be worried because it's about your freedom with the Knight of Wands energy. Okay, your freedom being cut with the Five of Swords. Not enough time to focus on maybe some of the stuff that you like to do. But if you've got a passion and a purpose, sometimes you are going to have to make a sacrifice. It could be your freedom with the Knight of Wands energy being sacrificed with the Five of Swords, for example. Okay? Okay? So, for some of you guys, there is something I feel in the last two weeks of January, and you've been thinking about it real hard. And you're very open now to kind of like, you know, tapping away. Tapping away with that Eight of Coins at your own mental limitations, the blockages that you put up, because there has been an advancement in the way that you've been feeling and thinking about this thing. But at the end of the day, Scorpio, it's up to you, because it's either that you're worried about having to relearn something because it's something to do with travel. Maybe there's traveling away from family. Maybe you're worried about, you know, having to relearn something because you feel that your freedom with the Knight of Wands energy, well, it's going to be, you know, there's going to be a little bit of a setback with that, maybe with the Five of Swords energy. Maybe there's a setback with travel or something like that. Maybe you feel that, you know, there's going to be problems with going for this thing because your freedom will be compromised. That type of thing. But I feel that, you know, if you really want something, you're going to have to do it. Because I do feel that you guys realise there's a path here that you shouldn't be on right now. And you really need to go on this new path. But I feel that what this reading is saying, Scorpio, is if you want to really go on this new path, you're going to have to really dedicate yourself to it. I mean, really dedicate yourself to it. Okay, and that will come with sacrifice. Your freedom is probably going to be sacrificed with the Five of Swords. Probably will. You're going to have to make some compromises. It might be that you can't, you know, go out as much as you'd like to go out, or you can't do this as much as you'd like to do, or you can't do that. But if you really, really want something, you're going to have to just kind of like pull your britches up and do it. let's have a look at what the advice is for the last 2 weeks in January 2019. Let's have a look, Scorpio. What is the advice for Scorpio last 2 weeks? What is the advice from the Answer is Simple cards? What is the advice that you have for Scorpio? Telling you to fill the well. Fill the well, it says. Let's have a look at what that is. It's number 25. Right, fill the well says your inner light is dim right now, which I think it is. Your body is exhausted, your emotions are overwhelmed, and your mind is working overtime, all of which lock your spirit out. You may not even know it because your ego prides itself on racing on a treadmill of fear without a break. Yet, whether your ego knows it or not, you're about to run out of fuel, and it's true. So guess what? It's time to gas up and receive nurturing. Reach out and ask for love and support from others. It can be as simple as asking a friend to invite you to dinner, making a request to your partner for you to give you a foot rub, booking an appointment at the local spa and having a hot stone massage, or going out to the park and playing with your dog. The key is allowing others to help restore your balance. This isn't the time to do it yourself. Your well is dry and you need the energy of your soul, family and friends to revive yourself. Your spirit comfortably, without hesitation, asks for support and nurturing. Only the ego resists, but remember that it was your ego that got you in this in the first place, of depletion in the first place. Besides, others would be delighted to nurturing you. Sorry, I read that all wrong. A word of caution, don't set yourself up for failure by asking those more depleted than you to do the nurturing. And your nurturing is going to come, I think, from the Hierophant. Somebody that you can learn from. You need to reach out. Three of Wands is all about reaching out. You need to reach out to the Hierophant. Somebody who can give you that counselling and that advice that you need. Because now is not the time to focus on doing this thing. The Magician. Now is not the time to focus on doing this all by yourself. The back is turned to the Magician. So now is not the time to focus on this, to showing what you have, just like that. Now is the time to reach out to people who can teach, who can learn, who can help you. So this is your support of the Hierophant. And it's true, you need that support. There's something you guys want to go for, but it's telling you that you need to fill your well up. So how I interpret this card, though I agree with what these cards are saying to you, definitely, I also feel that your well is run dry. And that's why you're worrying about this as well, with the Nine of Swords and the Page of Swords, because your well has run dry. You don't have enough information here with the Page of Swords. You're worrying about collecting all of the information that you need to go on this new path. But if you want to do that, then the overall outcome is you need to reach out to somebody who can help you. Hierophants are counsellors, they're teachers, they're guidance people, they're mentors. You need to reach out to a mentor, somebody who's going to help you to become the Magician. Okay? And that's it for the month. Okay? What we're going to do, hop on next door. You've got your February reading, your love and your general, Scorpio, okay? But remember, you need to fill your well up. And for some of you guys, you really do need to fill your well up with the advice, the support, the counsel, the guidance from this Hierophant, okay? Because Rome wasn't built in a day. And this is something, as the card said, you can't do on your own. You need the help of others. So I would suggest that you go out and do that, okay?